The discovery and declaration. The Deep Space Warning Captain Zorak sat in the command center of Deep Space Station Omega-7, his 6 eyes scanning the holographic displays that surrounded him. The Veltarian had been monitoring this sector of space for over 20 years, watching for pirates, rogue asteroids, and other dangers that might threaten the peaceful trade routes of the Galactic Federation. His purple skin gleamed under the soft blue lights of the control room as he sipped his morning nutrition drink. The warning alarm shattered the peaceful morning routine. Red lights flashed across every console, and the deep electronic voice of the station's computer filled the air with urgent announcements. Zorak dropped his drink and rushed to the main sensor array, his forearms moving quickly across the control panels. "Computer, report status," he commanded, his voice tight with concern. "Large unidentified object detected in Sector 7 Alpha." The computer responded in its calm mechanical tone. "Distance 50,000 kilometers and approaching. Size, approximately 3.2 kilometers in length." Zorak felt his heart skip a beat. In all his years of service, he had never detected anything that large moving through space. Most ships in the galaxy were measured in hundreds of meters, not kilometers. Only the massive space stations and the legendary dreadnought warships of the old wars had been that big. "Show me visual," he ordered. The main screen flickered to life, displaying the dark, void of space dotted with distant stars. At first, Zorak saw nothing unusual. Then the computer enhanced the image, and what he saw made him stumble backward in shock. Floating against the star field was a shape that defied all logic and reason. It looked like a giant person made of metal and machinery. The object had 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso, and what appeared to be a head. It moved through space with a slow, deliberate grace that seemed almost alive. "By the 7 moons," Zorak whispered, using an old Veltarian expression of amazement. "What is that thing?" The Council's emergency session within hours. Representatives from 12 different species had gathered in the Great Assembly Hall on Central Station Prime. The emergency session of the Galactic Council had been called the moment Zorak's report reached the Federation's headquarters. The circular chamber buzzed with nervous energy as delegates whispered among themselves in dozens of different languages. Supreme Chancellor Lyra stood at the center podium, her tall, elegant form commanding attention from every corner of the hall. The Etherian leader's translucent skin glowed with a soft silver light, a sign of stress among her people. Her voice carried clearly through the chamber's advanced communication system. "Fellow beings of the galaxy," she began, "we face an unprecedented situation. A massive vessel of unknown origin has entered our space. Its design and purpose are unlike anything in our historical records." The main display screen above the chamber showed the image that had shocked Zorak hours earlier. Gasps and exclamations filled the room as representatives saw the humanoid ship for the first time. Some delegates shielded their eyes while others leaned forward for a better look. Admiral Kex of the Zephyrian Defense Force stood up, his reptilian features twisted with concern. "Chancellor, my analysts have studied the sensor data. The power readings from this vessel are beyond anything we have ever encountered. The energy signature suggests weapons capabilities that could destroy entire fleets." Dr. Elena Vasquez, the human representative and chief xenobiologist, raised her hand to speak. "Admiral, with respect, we should not jump to conclusions. The humanoid design might have cultural or practical significance we don't understand. Perhaps this species evolved to work better with familiar body shapes. Or perhaps," interrupted General Thax of the Kronar Empire, his insect-like features clicking with agitation, "this is a psychological weapon designed to unnerve us. What could be more terrifying than a giant warrior floating through space?" The chamber erupted in debate. The peaceful Luminians argued for attempting communication, while the warrior Craxi demanded immediate military action. The ancient wisdom. Keepers called for patience and study, but the younger species pushed for quick decisions. Chancellor Lyra raised her hand for silence. "We have received additional reports. The vessel has been detected in 3 more systems over the past week. It appears to be following the major shipping lanes, though it has not attacked any civilian vessels. Yet, growled Admiral Kex, it hasn't attacked yet. But something that size, with that much power, could destroy a colony world before our fleets could respond. The military assessment in the war room 3 levels below the assembly hall. Military leaders from across the galaxy studied tactical displays and weapon specifications. Fleet Admiral Voss, a grizzled veteran of the border wars, examined the data with his experienced eye. The old soldier had seen many battles and survived encounters with pirates, rebels, and even the mysterious Shadow Fleet from beyond the galactic rim. The vessel's hull composition is unknown, reported Chief Analyst Zara, her tentacles moving gracefully as she manipulated the holographic displays. Our long-range scanners cannot penetrate its armor. Whatever metal they used, it's incredibly dense and appears to absorb most scanning frequencies. Lieutenant Commander Jax, a young Stellar Navy officer, studied the movement patterns. Sir, the ship has changed course 17 times in the past week. Each time it avoided heavily populated systems and major trade centers. If this is a weapon, why isn't it targeting our most valuable assets? Admiral Voss stroked his chin thoughtfully. Sometimes the most dangerous predators are patient hunters. It might be studying our defenses, learning our patrol patterns, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The tactical computer projected various battle scenarios onto the main screen. Each simulation showed devastating losses for the Federation fleets. The humanoid ship's estimated weapons power was simply too great for conventional tactics to overcome. We need to evacuate the border colonies, Admiral Voss decided. If this thing turns hostile, those worlds will be defenseless. The declaration of war back in the assembly hall, the debate had reached a crucial point. Chancellor Lyra called for order as the various representatives continued their heated discussions. The peaceful solution advocates were losing ground to those who favored military action. The evidence is clear, declared Ambassador Rex of the Titanium Consortium. This vessel represents a clear and present danger to every world in the galaxy. Its size, power, and mysterious nature make it a weapon of mass destruction by any reasonable definition. Dr. Vasquez stood up again, her voice strained with emotion. We are talking about potentially declaring war on a species we know nothing about. What if they are peaceful? What if the humanoid design is simply their natural form translated into technology? Then why don't they respond to our communications? Challenged General Thax. We have broadcast friendship messages in over 300 languages and mathematical sequences. Any intelligent species should recognize our peaceful intentions. The Wisdom Keeper Elron, ancient even by his species' long-lived standards, spoke in his creaky voice. In my 8 centuries of life, I have seen fear drive good beings to terrible choices. We must not let our terror of the unknown push us toward unnecessary violence. But the voices calling for action grew louder. Reports continued to arrive of the humanoid ship's movements, each sighting increasing the panic among civilian populations. Trade vessels were avoiding entire sectors of space, causing economic disruption across dozens of worlds. Chancellor Lyra knew the moment had come for a decisive vote. All those in favor of classifying the humanoid vessel as a hostile weapon of mass destruction and authorizing military action to neutralize the threat. One by one, hands, claws, tentacles, and other appendages rose throughout the chamber. The final count was overwhelming. 847 votes in favor, 23 against, with 45 abstentions. The resolution passes, Chancellor Lyra announced solemnly. By the authority of the Galactic Council, the humanoid vessel is hereby declared a weapon of mass destruction and an immediate threat to galactic security. All member fleets are authorized to use necessary force to stop this threat. The fleet mobilization. Within hours of the Council's declaration, the largest military mobilization in galactic history began. From every corner of Federation space, warships converged on the last known position of the humanoid vessel. The combined fleet included vessels from 43 different species, each bringing their unique technologies and fighting styles to the massive armada. Admiral Kex commanded the operation from his flagship, the mighty dreadnought Stellar Hammer. The bridge buzzed with activity as officers from a dozen different species worked together to coordinate the attack. Holographic displays showed the positions of over 500 warships arranged in attack formations. "All fleet commanders, this is Admiral Kex," his voice echoed through the communication channels. "Target acquisition in 30 minutes. Remember, we are dealing with an unknown weapon system of immense power. Maintain formation and do not engage until my direct order." Commander Silva of the human cruiser Terra Nova felt her stomach tighten with anxiety. As one of the few humans in the fleet, she understood better than most what it meant to be misunderstood by alien species, but her orders were clear, and she had sworn an oath to protect the innocent worlds of the Federation. "Sensors detect the target," announced the fleet's lead scout ship, bearing 270 Mark 15, distance 100,000 kilometers and closing. Admiral Kex studied the tactical display as the humanoid ship appeared on his screens. Even surrounded by hundreds of warships, the strange vessel moved with the same calm, deliberate pace it had maintained for weeks. It showed no signs of detecting the massive fleet arrayed against it. "All weapons, prepare to fire on my command," Kex ordered. "Target the main body structure. We end this threat before it can harm innocent lives." The fate of two species now hung in the balance, separated by misunderstanding and fear. Neither side knew that they were about to make first contact in the worst possible way, with weapons raised and fingers on triggers. The humanoid ship continued its slow approach, unaware that 500 alien warships were preparing to fire upon it. In the depths of space, humanity's greatest achievement was about to become the spark that could ignite a war between the stars. The truth revealed in resolution. The moment of truth, Admiral Kex watched the tactical display with growing tension as the humanoid vessel approached the Federation fleet. Every weapon in the armada was charged and ready to fire. The combined firepower represented the military might of 43 worlds, enough to destroy entire asteroid fields or reduce planets to rubble. "Target locked, sir," reported Weapons Officer Drac, his scaled fingers hovering over the firing controls. "All ships report ready to engage." But something made Kex hesitate. In 30 years of military service, he had learned to trust his instincts, and something about this situation felt wrong. The humanoid ship showed no aggressive postures, deployed no weapons, and made no threatening moves. It simply continued its steady course through space. "Sir?" Drac asked, confusion evident in his reptilian features. "Your orders?" Before Kex could respond, the communications officer, Lieutenant Yora, suddenly straightened at her station. Her large, sensitive ears twitched as she picked up something on the monitoring frequencies. "Admiral, I'm detecting a transmission from the target vessel," she announced, her voice filled with excitement. "It's not on any of our standard channels, but the signal is definitely artificial." "Put it through the universal translator," Kex ordered. The bridge fell silent as strange sounds filled the air. They were clearly not random noise, but showed patterns and structure that suggested intelligent communication. The computer worked frantically to analyze the signals, searching its massive database of known languages and communication methods. "Translation progress 12%, the computer announced. "Language structure suggests mathematical base with emotional modifiers similar to mammalian species communication patterns." Dr. Chen, the fleet's chief xenolinguist, worked at her station with intense concentration. The elderly human scientist had spent her entire career studying alien languages and had helped establish first contact protocols with 7 different species. "Admiral, this is fascinating," she said, not looking up from her displays. "The language structure is incredibly sophisticated. They're using mathematical concepts as a foundation, but layering emotional and cultural context on top. It's almost like how humans might design a universal language." The human perspective aboard the rescue vessel Unity. Captain Sarah Mitchell felt the weight of responsibility pressing against her shoulders like a physical force. Through her neural connection with the ship's AI, she could sense the massive, alien fleet surrounding them. The Unity and its sister ships had been searching for survivors from the lost colony vessel New Horizon for months, following faint distress signals across thousands of light years. "Anna, analysis of the alien fleet?" Sarah asked, speaking to the ship's artificial intelligence. Captain, I count 5 and 12 hostile vessels arranged in attack formations, Anna replied through their mental link. Weapon signatures suggest they intend to destroy us. However, I am also detecting communication attempts on multiple frequencies. Sarah closed her eyes and tried to think clearly. The Unity was humanity's most advanced vessel, designed to rescue people in the most dangerous conditions imaginable. Its humanoid shape wasn't meant to intimidate anyone. It was built that way because human crews worked better with familiar forms. The ship's AI was designed to think and feel like a human, making it the perfect partner for long-range rescue missions. Can you understand their communications? Sarah asked. I'm learning their language patterns. They appear to be afraid of us, Captain. Their communication suggests they believe we are a weapon. Sarah felt her heart sink. Humanity's first contact with alien life, and they thought humans were monsters. She thought about the 15,000 people who had been aboard the New Horizon. Families, children, elderly people, all lost somewhere in this vast region of space. They couldn't abandon the rescue mission, but they also couldn't fight an entire fleet. Anna, can you communicate with them? Explain our mission. I am attempting to establish communication protocols now, Captain. However, their translation systems appear limited. It may take time to convey complex concepts. In the medical bay, Dr. James Rodriguez prepared the Unity's massive hospital facilities for potential survivors. The ship could treat thousands of injured people simultaneously, using the most advanced medical technology humanity had ever developed. Every rescue ship in the fleet was equipped with similar facilities. Captain, Dr. Rodriguez called over the internal communication system. If we're going into battle, I need to know. My medical staff is ready for casualties, but we're not equipped for full-scale warfare. Sarah felt torn between impossible choices. Fight and potentially kill innocent aliens who were only defending themselves, or surrender and abandon thousands of human survivors who might be dying in the wreckage of the New Horizon. The breakthrough on the bridge of the Stellar Hammer, Dr. Chen suddenly looked up from her translation work with excitement shining in her eyes. Admiral, I've got something, she announced. The transmission is repeating a mathematical sequence, but it's not just numbers. They're sending star charts, showing the locations of destroyed vessels and debris fields. Admiral Kex studied the data appearing on his screen. The star charts matched Federation records of missing ships, not military vessels, but civilian craft, colony ships, and exploration vessels that had vanished over the past several years. What are they trying to tell us? Kex asked. Dr. Chen worked frantically with the translation computer. Sir, I think they're rescue ships. They're not here to attack anyone. They're searching for survivors from all these missing vessels. The revelation hit the bridge like a shockwave. Lieutenant Yora's sensitive ears picked up more of the transmission, and the computer's translation improved by the minute. Admiral, she reported, they're broadcasting on emergency frequencies now. The message is becoming clearer. They're saying, we are Unity, we are Protector, we are Guardian, we are Savior. We search for the lost. We mean no harm. Admiral. Kex felt a cold weight settle in his stomach. They had assembled the largest battle fleet in galactic history to attack rescue ships. He thought about the thousands of missing civilians, the families waiting for news of lost loved ones, and realized the humanoid vessels had been trying to help all along. All ships stand down, he ordered immediately. Do not fire. Repeat, all ships stand down. The communication bridge Dr. Chen worked with desperate intensity to establish proper communication with the human ships. Using mathematical principles and star charts, she slowly built a bridge of understanding between the two species. The computer's translation algorithms improved rapidly as more data became available. Captain Mitchell aboard the Unity felt Anna's excitement through their neural link as communication finally became possible. Captain, I am receiving clear messages from the alien fleet, Anna reported. They understand we are conducting rescue operations. One of their leaders wants to speak with you directly. Sarah took a deep breath and activated the main communication system. This is Captain Sarah Mitchell of the human rescue vessel Unity. Can you understand me? Admiral Kex heard the transmission through the universal translator. The voice was clearly female and carried tones of stress and hope that were remarkably similar to emotions his own species experienced. "Captain Mitchell, this is Admiral Kex of the Galactic Federation Defense Force. We apologize for the misunderstanding. We thought your vessels were weapons." Sarah felt relief flood through her. "Admiral, we are searching for survivors from a human colony ship that was lost in this region. We have no hostile intentions toward any species. Captain, we have records of many missing civilian vessels in this area. We thought they had been destroyed by pirates or natural disasters. Are you saying some of the people might still be alive?" "Yes, Admiral. We've detected faint distress signals from emergency shelters. There could be thousands of survivors waiting for rescue." The joint rescue mission. What followed was unprecedented in galactic history. The massive Federation fleet, originally assembled to destroy the human ships, transformed into the largest rescue operation ever organized. Ships from dozens of different species worked together with the human rescue vessels, combining their technologies and resources to save lives. Admiral Kex transferred his command to a smaller vessel and came aboard the Unity to meet Captain Mitchell in person. The two leaders stood in the Unity's command center, surrounded by the soft blue glow of the ship's biomechanical systems. "Your ship is remarkable," Kex said, his reptilian features showing genuine admiration. "The way it moves, the way it thinks. It's almost alive." "In many ways, it is alive," Sarah replied. "We designed our rescue ships to work as partners with human crews. The humanoid shape helps our people feel comfortable during long missions." Dr. Rodriguez gave Admiral Kex a tour of the medical facilities, explaining how the advanced systems could treat patients from dozens of different species. The alien leader was amazed by the dedication to saving lives that had driven human technology. "Your people traveled across the galaxy to rescue strangers," Kex observed. "Even when we threatened you with destruction, you refused to abandon your mission." Sarah nodded. "That's what it means to be human. We don't leave our people behind, and we help others whenever we can." The discovery. The combined fleet found the wreckage of the New Horizon scattered across 3 different star systems. Emergency shelters containing over 8,000 survivors were discovered on the surface of 2 different planets. Working together, human and alien rescue teams saved every single person. The survivors told stories of the ship's final moments, how the crew had sacrificed everything to get the civilian population to safety before the vessel broke apart. The rescue operation took 6 weeks, but it forged bonds between species that would last for generations. Dr. Chen became the first official translator between humans and the Galactic Federation, helping to establish the communication protocols that would govern future contact between the species. Her work laid the foundation for humanity's eventual membership in the galactic community. The New Alliance. 6 months after the near disaster of first contact, Captain Mitchell stood before the Galactic Council as humanity's first official ambassador. The assembly hall that had once echoed with calls for war now welcomed her with applause from hundreds of different species. "The human rescue ships have saved over 50,000 lives in the past 6 months," Chancellor Lyra announced. "They have asked for nothing in return except the opportunity to help others. The Council hereby extends an invitation for humanity to join the Galactic Federation as full members." Admiral Kex, now serving as military liaison to the human fleet, watched with pride as the Unity and her sister ships were officially commissioned as Federation rescue vessels. The same ships that had once been declared weapons of mass destruction were now symbols of hope and cooperation. Dr. Vasquez, who had argued for peaceful contact from the beginning, worked with human scientists to establish joint research programs. The combination of human innovation and alien knowledge led to breakthroughs in medicine, engineering, and space exploration that benefited all species. Epilogue. The legacy years later, the story of the humanoid rescue ships became legend throughout the galaxy. Children of dozens of different species learned about the day when fear almost caused a war, and how understanding and compassion prevented disaster. The Unity continued her rescue missions, now accompanied by vessels from many different worlds. Captain Mitchell trained alien officers in human rescue techniques while learning new methods from her Federation partners. The ship's AI, Anna, developed friendships with artificial intelligences from other species, creating a network of cooperation that spanned the galaxy. Admiral Kex wrote a book about the experience, titled The Day We Almost Destroyed Our Saviors. It became required reading at military academies throughout Federation space, teaching future officers the importance of communication and understanding in preventing conflicts. The Galactic Council established new protocols for first contact situations, ensuring that future encounters between unknown species would begin with attempts at communication rather than preparations for war. The human protocols, as they became known, saved countless lives in the years that followed. Sarah Mitchell eventually became the Federation's Chief of Rescue Operations, overseeing missions that saved millions of lives across hundreds of worlds. She never forgot the lesson of that first encounter, that what appears threatening might simply be misunderstood, and that the greatest strength lies not in the power to destroy, but in the courage to save others. The humanoid ships that had once been feared as weapons of mass destruction became the most beloved vessels in Federation space. Wherever disaster struck, wherever people were lost or in danger, the distinctive silhouettes of the rescue ships appeared to offer hope and salvation. In the end, humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy was not advanced technology or military might, but the simple determination to help others, no matter the cost. The species that had once been seen as a threat became the guardians of all who traveled among the stars, proving that even in the vast darkness of space, the light of compassion could shine bright enough to guide everyone home.